So I wanted to focus today on a really important aspect of self-love, okay? That is really key to understanding self-love. And that is being able to see yourself as guiltless, right? Or innocent, or being able to forgive yourself, right? Probably the biggest component to cultivating self-love, because as long as you're harboring any degree of guilt inside of you, then you can't love yourself because you believe that there's something in you that's unlovable. So, removing all the guilt from your mind, your subconscious, is really important because not only will you feel the sense of freedom and self love, but you will see the whole world that way. Because if it's not in you, you can't project it out of you, right? So, if you don't judge yourself, if you don't think, um, that I am not enough, that if you think I have done something evil, right? If you keep judging yourself, right, you'll see it in someone else. Does that make sense? So it's a perfect mirror in that way. However you see yourself is exactly how you see the world. It's just holding the mirror up to you all the time. So innocence, innocence means if you would have knew better, you would have done better. It's just a simple understanding that, and this is so key, everyone is just where they are, plain and simple. No one can behave above their current state of consciousness. Isn't that true? If they had access um, to greater information, they would do better, right? Everybody wants to avoid suffering and feel happy, right? It's inescapable, it's innate, right? So if someone's behaving wrongly or doing evil or whatever, it's because they simply believe that that's the best possible action that they can take to be happy at that moment, right? Their ego has them convinced that separation and fear, that violence, attacking is the answer, right? So if you believe that, if anyone believes that, they'll behave the same way because you always want what makes you happy, right? So to see innocence is to see that this person believes a lie. So how can I expect them to believe to behave any other way, right? So there's really no such thing as evil. There's just ignorance, right? Evil is a result of being ignorant of what is true, right? If people knew that all of their negative, selfish actions um, always affected them, right? They wouldn't do it. They feel like it will eventually lead to satisfaction, right? More violence, that's the answer, right? Wars, right? That's going to lead to a good outcome, right? This is the ego's campaign slogan, right? The ego's like, I'm always going to keep you on this hamster wheel, right? Um, it keeps recreating the same actions, right? Which is what Einstein called insanity, right? So everyone who's acting out of love is just behaving insanely, right? You can look at it like it's their job to make mistakes, right? The abuser has to abuse, right? They believe that's their way to freedom. The liar has to lie. They're completely convinced that that will make them happy. So the question I have for you guys, and maybe I'll close my eyes for this part. Um, where have you made yourself guilty? Think about this. And it could be anything, big or small. Whatever comes up first is what's more important to you right now. What's most important to you? Where do you feel guilty? What you bring into the light cannot be kept in darkness. So, um, I'd like to hear from some of you in the comments if you want. You don't have to. But whatever you had something come up, an area that you're judging yourself, go ahead, write in the comments. I would love to hear it. Um, we keep these things inside. It's an illusion. The ego's always looking to gain influence. You have nothing to feel guilty for. The more I learn these truths, It's different. I see this world. Judgment. The subconscious mind doesn't know self from other, right? It's just one system. It's a storage system, right? So if you file a judgment away about somebody, the mind only knows it's a self-judgment. I would judge myself this way, you know? Jesus talked about this in Matthew where he said something like, don't judge or else you're going to be judged, because the same exact measure of judgment that you measure at will be measured back to you. And people think he was talking about an angry God, right? No. He's saying your mind will judge you according to the exact same standards that you place in others. You know what I mean? So if you do not think someone is evil or not good enough, right, it's impossible to think about it yourself, right? It doesn't exist. By offering freedom, you will be free. You're giving it to yourself. There is only you. Does that resonate with any of you guys? I love you guys. See you soon. Self-love is key.